So in one of my previous videos, I talked about how many beginners think that Vipassana, which is a type of meditation in which you watch your breath or your mind, is the only type of meditation. So they start with, if you go to any forums or any groups like Reddit, they think that Vipassana is the only type of meditation. That's all they talk about. And my problem is, which I've talked about before, is that Vipassana is a very hard meditation, at least for beginners. I wouldn't recommend beginners start with Vipassana. It's very hard to do, and it's very hard to do well. And the problem is, many beginners sit down and they try to watch their thoughts, and they're like, "Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right?" And they get confused and they quit. So I don't recommend starting with Vipassana. It is more of an intermediate to advanced type. It's very powerful, but it's not suitable for beginners. In fact, I don't recommend beginners do any pure mind-based meditation. What do I mean by pure mind-based? Things like visualization or watching your thoughts or watching your breath, or just sitting and not thinking anything. Just it's called meditation on the void or emptiness. These are pure mind-based and they're very hard, at least for beginners. Even for me, for a long time, I find them hard. So you can still do them. I'm not saying don't do them. I mean, you have to. Our goal is to help calm the mind down, right? I'm just saying don't start with them. Don't start with Vipassana. Don't start with visualization. Don't start with any pure mind-based exercise and mind-based meditation. And the reason for this is the mind. It doesn't like it when you watch it. The mind is a judgmental machine. It likes to judge others and watch others. Like, oh, this person's so fat. This woman is so nasty. My boss is a jerk. The mind is always looking out on the world, judging. So when you sit down to meditate, what you're doing is you're turning the light around. Since you're looking at the world, you're looking at the mind. And the mind gets very distressed and uncomfortable. It's like, oh, don't look at me. And it starts fighting you directly. That's why most of these mind-based meditations are very hard to do. Because the mind actively fights you, and its mind is million times stronger than you are. If you're, for example, 30 years old and you start meditation, the mind has been fighting you for 30 years. Do you think you can sit for 30 minutes and control the mind? So what's the solution? I'm not saying don't do these, like you have to do them because they're very powerful and very effective. Vipassana is super effective. Visualization is also very effective for building any concentration and willpower. Any meditation where you focus your mind, like visualization, they help you increase your mind power and your willpower. So they're very worth doing, but just don't start with them. My recommendation is you start with breathing techniques. The proper term in yoga is pranayama, but you don't have to do pranayama. I won't teach pranayama here. This is not the right place. You can go to YouTube or Google and search for. There are many pranayama techniques. Choose one or two and just do them properly. If you don't know one, the simplest breathing technique is belly breathing, which you put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, and then you breathe deeply. And this must move, the belly must move, but the chest must not move. Many people are chest breathers. They breathe shallow. They like a angry bull. That's why their stress levels are. You don't want to breathe from your chest. You want to breathe from your belly. If you've seen the Buddha statues, he's got a big belly. And that's to show that the enlightened Buddhas, they breathe from the belly. So your breath must go to the belly, and this is one of the simplest breathing exercises you can do. You don't even need any tutorial for it. You just keep one hand on your chest, one on your belly, and when you breathe, your belly must move, not your chest. This is to check. You can also add in other pranayama breathing exercises like alternate nose breathing, which you breathe in from one nose, like in, out, just search for alternate nose breathing pranayama, or just search for pranayama techniques. There are many of them. You don't have to do all of them. Choose 2 or 3 and do them for like 5 or 10 minutes. So like do this for like 3 to 5 minutes. Do another alternate nose breathing for 3 to 5 minutes. If you want, you can add in some other physical movement like yoga or tai chi. But if you are doing yoga, do it slowly and with awareness. I personally prefer tai chi, not yoga, the yoga has become too, physical exercise. So, what to? It's like the spiritual. There's no spirituality in there. Tai Chi is still taught like a meditation. Tai Chi or its cousin Qigong. Qigong I prefer even more because Qigong is purely spiritual. There's no physical. Tai Chi still has some martial art, physical benefits, applications, but Qigong is purely uh, spiritual. So you search for Qigong on YouTube. It's spelled Qigong, Qigong, or pronounced Qigong. So you can add these. I'm not saying you have to do them. What I'm saying is, don't sit down and try to watch your breath, or watch your thoughts. Don't do that. Spend 5-10 minutes calming your breath down. Using breathing techniques, pranayama. Do that first. Optionally do mindful movement like Tai Chi. Optionally. And then sit down. Only then sit down for mind-based meditations like concentration or vipassana, where you're watching your thoughts. I mean, for vipassana, you watch your breath, but it's different from pranayama because you're not trying to control your breath. You're just watching it from the mind. So vipassana is still a mind-based exercise. You're still, taking the watcher position. You can watch your thoughts or your breath. That's why you're working directly on the mind, and the mind doesn't like that because the mind likes to be in control. And when you sit down and try to control the mind fights back. Like I said, if you're 30 years old, the mind has 30 years of experience fighting you. That's my advice. So if you're a beginner, I've been meditating for like 20 years now. Even I find going straight into meditation very hard. So even I prefer to do 5-10 minutes of breathing. And beginners, when they struggle, they sit down, they try 2 minutes. Oh my God, I'm bored. What do I do? And the reason for this is they're jumping straight into meditation without first calming the mind down. That's why they find it so hard. If you do it this way, do like 2 to 5 minutes of like Tai Chi or something, and then 5-10 minutes of breathing, and then 5 minutes of meditation, sitting mind-based meditation. You can easily sit for 15-20 minutes, and you won't get bored, and you won't get, like thinking, oh, what's happening now? Because by the time you've finished your breathing, mindful breathing, by the time you've finished your Tai Chi, your mind will have calmed down. It won't be completely calm, obviously, but it'll have calmed down enough that it'll let you sit and meditate easily. So this is my advice to beginners. Don't jump straight into vipassana or concentration. Spend some 5 or 10 minutes preparation doing breathing techniques. And there are many techniques. You can choose 2 or 3. And you can add in Tai Chi if you want. So even if you do each one for 2 or 3 minutes, that's 10 minutes easily gone. And these breathing techniques are simple. You don't choose any forceful breath holding ones. You don't want to do that. You want to choose the easy ones. That's why this one, belly breathing is quite easy. Alternate nose breathing easy. Just do it very lightly and easily. Don't use any force. Your job is to calm the mind down, not increase the tension in your body. You do that, your mind will become calm, and then when you sit, the mind won't fight you. It'll help you, and you'll easily be able to sit for like 5 minutes of vipassana. And then if you did 10 minutes of pranayama, then 5 minutes of sitting meditation, you've easily sat for 15-20 minutes. This is the thing beginners struggle with, right? How do I sit for 15 minutes? Well, they're doing it wrong. They're jumping straight into and trying to do going straight into the advanced form. Go easy. Don't jump. Don't try to jump over your own head. Go step by step. Sit down. Few minutes of mindful breathing. Few minutes of physical movement. Only if you can do it with, slowly and consciously. Don't do the exercise. Few minutes of pranayama. Few minutes of sitting quietly. Then sit on meditation. And your meditation will work miracles. Guaranteed, or your money back.